All right, music fans, welcome back. It is the Harmless One talking about real music, real issues in real time for real people, just like you right there, just like me right here. Uh, Poison's Rikki Rocket, one of the better rock and roll names of all time, Rikki Rocket, has tested positive for the dreaded floating particle. And the reason I call it that is I'm trying to stay out of YouTube jail here. So Poison's Rikki Rocket has been fully vaccinated. And he talks about how he and his son stayed in a camper and then ended up going to urgent care to get tests. And he goes on. And this video for me is going to be a little bit different than your typical video because I'm going to share some information with you. I'm reading a very interesting book, and I think it applies to some of the stuff that is going on out there. And we've been going through this now for, I don't know, 16 months, and it just doesn't have an end point to it. It just doesn't have an ending. Nobody seems to want it to end. And those who don't want it to end seem to be the most fearful and the most disruptive and really are bringing everybody else down with them. Maybe they think they're doing the right thing. I don't know this guy. I don't know him from a hole in the wall. I've never met Rikki Rocket. He is in the news a lot. The mainstream music folks, press, they seem to cover him a bit, and I read the articles, and typically I skip them. This one I didn't because I found a lot of irony here, and then I read what he said. He said, guess what? I'm vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated and have been for months. I don't know if this is the variant. Some people call that the scariant, but every physician I've spoken to said it has every hallmark of being the variant. Okay. He doesn't know, but because he has spoken to some people, apparently he didn't get tested to find out if it was the variant. He goes on here and it gets a little defensive. You're probably thinking to yourself, vaccinated and you still got it? Do you feel like an idiot for getting vaccinated? He says, no. The reason, now catch this phrase, I don't feel that way is because I know that this would be way worse, especially if it is or was the variant. Well, I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned here because there are two things happening. There is this admission that I was vaccinated and yet I've got this, but it would be worse. I mean, I'm just confused. I'm confused by all of this stuff. But the things that jump out at me, oh, he goes on, I'm pretty sure, pretty sure. I'm going to eventually get the sequence to make sure, but absolutely every doctor that my family and I have come in contact with, and I think we're counting 7 doctors now, have all said it has the hallmarks. So everything that you describe is the variant. All right. So radical shift in what I'm going to talk about right here. I'm currently reading this book. This is a book by Stephen Hassan. Stephen Hassan was in the Unification Church for a number of years, and he's written a couple of books. This one here called Combating Cult Mind Control. He has another book called Freedom of Mind, Helping Loved Ones Leave Controlling People, Cults, and Beliefs. Now, why did I stray into this territory? I do some stuff, in my spare time. I do a lot of reading and I watch things and I observe things, the whole observer thing. Because Rikki Rocket says things like, I know this would be way worse. I know, and I feel that way. And he makes these statements that sound to me like it's more a religious thing. And again, I'm going to say he's probably not aware. And so many people are not aware that they come out with statements like, I feel, or I think, or I'm very sure, or it has all the hallmarks of, or I know that it would be way worse. I'm really getting tired of this stuff, because here's where I'm at. People aren't thinking for themselves. They have faith in something that isn't bigger than themselves. They don't. And typically, like if you have faith in God, you have faith in something that's truly greater than who you are. But I've noticed that people now have faith in things that aren't great at all. And it seems over the last 16 months or so that a new religion is upon us. And rock stars who in the old days had this heritage, and I've mentioned this in other videos, that they didn't trust anyone over 30 for a period of time. And that may have sounded a little immature back in those days, but today, I don't know, maybe it's not an age thing. Maybe it's a certain authority figure thing. Maybe you should get, if this thing is really important to you, say I go and see a doctor because I have an issue and I don't like what the doctor tells me. What do? I get a second opinion, right? Now, he covers this. He says, I've spoken to seven different doctors that are all telling him the same thing. That might be a consensus. But typically, in the old days, and this raises a question, doctors didn't always agree across the board about everything. I have a hunch, and it's always about following the money, that people get more money if they say certain things. And if they go along with the protocols that they're given and they don't rock the boat, then their job is secure and their livelihood continues. Now, with a guy like Rikki Rocket, I don't know him. He's always in the news. And he's in a band that isn't even touring, or I think they're going to be part of the stadium tour eventually. So they're going to be around thousands of people. Isn't that extremely risky based on all of this stuff that his new religion teaches? I mean, when does it never ends. This is the problem. They don't tell you in 2 months, we're going to just cut this and stop it. 6 months, they go back and forth. This is the problem. See, at least when you follow, say, a real religion like Christianity, for instance, you know the basic tenets of the faith. It's all right there. It doesn't change. It's always going to be that way. And I think people are trying to almost fill their lives up with this virtue that they get from these moments where they teach other people. Like, I will teach you how to ignore the evidence. That's what he's doing here. I will teach you to ignore what you've heard and to be a believer. This is bizarre. And it's been going on. And what's weird is, again, rock stars who used to be rebellious, who used to say, hey, let's stick it to the man. Don't trust these people. Don't trust the government. And now they're all just walking in lockstep. And it's a weird thing to say. Anyway, that's my video on this. One more time on the book in case you missed it. I should be holding up like Don Felder's book right now, but it's Stephen Hassan, Combating Cult Mind Control. Fascinating and completely relevant right now to what's happening in the world. Just putting it out there, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. You may think I'm going down a rabbit trail here. Another slow news day, possibly, but I find this stuff very fascinating, very interesting. And if you could support this channel, by the way, I've noticed that the algorithm is now kind of working in the opposite direction over the last 30 days. It may be due to videos like this one. So if you can help with the channel, $1 a month over on Patreon, watch the videos, subscribe to the channel, and it's all much appreciated. And I will talk to you soon.